primary education at a rural primary school, my secondary education at a rural secondary school. Now I discovered something. My dreams and my ambition was hampered a bit by the public school system. You know, public school is something that no one wants to currently associate himself with. We send our wards to private schools, no matter the amount of money they pay. So the government don't have the awards in the public schools. If you have a little money, the first thing you do is to send your kid to a private school. So the public school is in a state of neglect, in a state of disrepair. You go to some of the classes, there are no furniture, there are no board, the windows are open, and some of the roofs are leaking. Basic materials are lack in the public schools. So I have a team that what we do is we take books to public schools for reading, literacy campaign. But what we do is that when we go there, the principal and the management, they tell us to give them the books, that they have libraries where they give the books for the students to read. So one day, we went to one of our visits, and then we actually asked the principal if we could read. So she permitted us. There in the hall, the students came in. And out of 420 students that were in attendance that day, we discovered that only 7 of them could read. So I went back home that day. I was actually dazed. I went back home that day. While I left from the public school in my secondary, in my SS3, I promised myself that I was not going to go back to the public school. I will never have any dealing with the public school. But that very day, when I went home, I changed my decision. I said I was going to go back to this public primary school and start volunteering as a teacher. So I went back the following week, got permission from the principal. She said that they actually had a literature teacher, that they didn't need a literature teacher. I said I can cooperate with this teacher and help these students, since most of them are offering literature, but they don't know how to read. They don't have books, the novels, and the literary text that the WAEC syllabus prescribe for them. What they do when they come to class is that the teacher takes them to a shed and reads them a story from her own text. And what they do, they follow, and until, you know, if you've gone to a public school, what most often is teacher-centered. The teacher faces like a preacher, and the students, they pay attention or they fake attention. So the principal permitted me to meet the literature teacher. I met the literature teacher. She said, okay, I'm going to take you to the class. So the day she took me to the class, actually she had this very long cane. I was coming behind me. I had a terrific experience in the primary school. So whenever I see a cane, I get scared. So that day we went into the class, he had this very long cane. And so I was standing like this to check if he was actually coming to flog me or something like that. So he introduced me to the students and we started off. But I discovered something. The students were scared. They didn't trust me. The first class we had, I asked them questions, basic questions, because in education they tell you start from the simple to the complex. So I started from the simple. What is your name? Introduce yourself. They were ogling at me. It was quite difficult for them to stand and express themselves. They lacked confidence. They were timid. So I knew that I was faced with a difficult challenge. I was going to, first of all, start by eliminating fear from the classroom, by making them trust me, by raising the level of confidence they have. So I started there. And I devised some means, engaging student experiences. These novels that we read were stories, African novels. They were stories that were very familiar with the students. But the way we teach this thing, makes it look so distant and far. We were reading Faceless by Amadako. The story is about street children. And most of these children, they come from broken homes. Exactly, but the way I thought it the first time, they were so confused. They didn't know what I was talking about. I went home and then replanned. I taught rhyme in poetry. What is rhyme? After speaking all the big grammar, they couldn't get it. So I had to use example from Fino's song. Fino, the Nigerian hip hop. I used, and then immediately they captured it and understood what rhyme was. They were giving me examples, I felt happy that day. And I knew that if I must get these students to be comfortable in my class, I had to use their experiences. I had to engage them. What do they know? They have stories. They have personal stories. And these novels we read are people's personal stories. If I must get them in the class, I must let them tell their own personal stories, bringing their experiences from home into the classroom experience. And it worked. We wrote essay after our third week, and it was quite amazing the number of turnouts. Their essays were quite full. I mean, they gave in detail, though I wasn't talking about the sentences or the prose. But in as much as they felt this confidence to write out their stories, I mean, some of them filled 3 pages, 5 pages. I was a bit happy. Then we have the next one, creating and respecting personal space. Now, there is this we learned in the College of Education, that as a teacher, you are this almighty authority. You are this omnipresent, omnipotent person. So virtually, you fill in all the spaces in the class. They will tell you to pace around, make sure that you cover the length and breadth of the classroom. But students are humans. They need privacy right there in the class. They need to create personal space, stay in their personal space. We have introverts in the class. And these introverts, no matter when they see you all around, when they turn this way, they see the teacher, they get quite uncomfortable. Now, this is a rural area where the kids, most of their teachers there sell, they see them in the market. For me, I was this stranger. So I had to let them relax in the class. Sometimes, I come into the class and create space for silence. I knew it was working, because after a long pause, I could ask questions and they will reply. But when I barge into the class and begin the lesson and continue, keep rambling until I end the lesson, they get quite uncomfortable. They don't relax. So I found out that I need to create and respect personal spaces. Give them time to ponder, to reflect. After teaching, we give them tests. It doesn't go well that way. You have to give them space to understand. And what I teach is literature, about stories, about experiences. These things need to go in and digest. So creating personal space is one thing, respecting personal space is another thing. These are students, I see they are humans first of all. So they need respect. In as much as I'm a teacher, I need respect. They too need respect. Then the third method I used was bringing humanity into the classroom. I will tell you a story. I once went to a job interview, one private school. It's a mission school, and it's very popular around the southeast. And one of the questions they asked me was, am I a Christian? I said yes. Are you baptized? I said yes. Your birth certificate, your baptismal certificate. I first brought my birth certificate. It was endorsed by a church, and then they asked for my baptismal certificate. Unfortunately, the church I attend doesn't issue baptismal certificate. So that one was settled. And the next question they asked me was if I could speak in tongues. I was wow. I mean, I was quite shocked. I mean, this is very usual. If you go to Christian schools, I mean, these schools owned by churches, you must know how to speak in tongues. Especially if you are unfortunate to fall into the hands of schools owned by Pentecostal. If you have your BSc or BEd, you also have one in speaking in tongues. And I wasn't comfortable with it. So what I did was, I was thinking, speaking in tongues, how am I going to use it in the classroom? How will it facilitate the teaching and learning process? It's good for one to be God-fearing as a teacher. It's cool. But what about speaking in tongues? And I must tell you, I didn't get that job. Not because I was not qualified, but because I refused. Actually, it annoyed me. Why would this be something that you should require of me? I mean, even if students were around and I start blabbing, speaking in tongues, wouldn't they, they would think that maybe this teacher is mad. They will feel quite uncomfortable. So that is it. The school system is mechanical. We forget that we are humans, teachers. When we come into the class, we come in rigid. If you are a man, you have to act like this powerful figure. That at the mention of your name, or at your mere presence, the student will bow. Automatically they fall into line. Nobody will make a noise. And you think that you are managing the classroom very beautifully. The students fear you. But it is wrong. This left, it left scares on us. All of us that attended public schools, we have stories of this particular teacher. That his words were command. This teacher that when he is coming, everyone runs into the class. But these teachers, this is not how human we are. We need to bring empathy into the classroom. A student comes into the class and then doesn't turn in the assignment. Do you ask, why have you not submitted your assignment? Perhaps when he or she got home during the day, there was no food, he had to join the mother in the market or something. There are reasons. Now, when we bring humanity into the classroom, we take these things into cognizance. We know that there might be a reason why this student didn't do this. So I pointed out bringing humanity into the classroom, making them know that this teacher standing here is a human being, first of all. That I feel, I empathize with them, I am less judgmental. I don't say because you did this. Yes, discipline is there. But we learn how to be flexible, not rigid. We don't say because this is the instruction I gave, it must be followed like that. So when I became less judgmental, I brought in humanity into the classroom, I found out that they flow. If I talk to them, they know that this guy has our interest at heart. That is it. Then the last one I use is redefining respect and classroom authority. Last Christmas, one of my nephews visited, and then he's 7 years, and normal kids, 7 years, they are naughty. So one afternoon, he had a problem with my mom, and then I intervened. When he saw me, he took a short run, ran away, and then he was daring me, like, come at me, that kind of thing. My mom was like looking at me. She was very surprised. Like, he asked me, doesn't he know you are a teacher? So I didn't actually know how being a teacher and this guy, behaving like a child he is. So then, it struck me that my mom had expected this child to turn himself in. Immediately he saw me, he will come and submit, maybe crawl on his knees. But that's not the kind of teacher I am. Sometimes in the classroom, we mistake fear for a healthy respect for authority. They are two different things. We should redefine what respect is. That respect should be earned and not be demanded. We should redesign what obedience is. Obedience, I don't really like it in the classroom because it entails absolute compliance. The student complies with all the rules and regulations you make. But when we bring in commitment, the students are committed. They know that this thing is their work, it's their future, and you are helping them to shape it. It's quite different. Then, timidity and confidence. Sometimes we mistake confidence as arrogance. A student should be self-confident. A student should be able to ask you, a teacher, a question. I make myself so open, redefine respect and authority so that I could be accessible to them. Now, when they know that they can come to me and say, sir, look at what happened or why I didn't do this, they respect me quite all right, but they don't fear me. Fear should not be in the classroom. Now, this is the method I used. For the last 5 years, I've been volunteering in public schools. I go there every Thursday, I shift, go from one school to another. And each school last 5 years, each school I go to, they have about 7, the highest number of students suffering literature were 15 at Okenalogo Secondary School. But now they have increased, they now have 27. Not that all of them take it in WAEC, but they enjoy the class. They come in. We want a vibrant reading culture. Now, this way, they come to class, I give them novels, and then they read. The class is expanding. Our reading culture is expanding. They may not actually write it in WAEC. They may not go to study law. But they have imbibed that culture of reading, and which is one of my goals, and which is one of the things that led me to the public school in the first place. Now, I'm confident, knowing that the students I'm raising, that in the future, they are courageous, they are confident, they are human beings that can go into the world and face life and come out successful. Thank you.